If we could have your attention for just a minute, we thought we'd just have a short little welcome for everyone. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to welcome from the committee everyone who's here attending the South High School class of 1963 50th reunion. We welcome our classmates and extend a special welcome to the spouses, partners, and friends attending, because you will only have to endure a few more hours of reminiscing, exaggerations, and fuzzy memories of what actually took place between 1959 and 1963. Many of you have maintained lifelong friendships, and others get together only for these special reunion events. Tonight we'll spend a few precious hours remembering those times we enjoyed together. Let our memories and magic take us away to a time when things were very different and perhaps simpler. It was during those fabulous 50s and 60s that we went from childhood to adulthood. Think back and recall when we first entered high school.
Can't hear ya. You want the music off and your voice on.
Recall when we first entered South High School, some of us in 9th grade and others as sophomores. The excitement and uncertainties as freshmen and sophomores, and how we progressed over the years, right up to being the kings and queens as seniors. Remember the excitement of our football, basketball, hockey, and other events. Recall the Sadie Hawkins dances in the fall, Snow Week, the Snow Week dance, the proms, and the Sweetheart Swirl. Remembering the class plays and musicals and the great performances, at least by our standards, of the events. Also, recall when the only midnight oil we burned was gasoline driving our cars up and down Lake Street. Hanging out at Porky's. Going to Mr. Lucky's.
Banana cream pie at Porky's.
Whatever. Sneaking over to Hall's Grocery. When a 57 Chevy was everybody's dream car. When we went steady. At least those of us, not including me, who could. When we dreamed of the man in the moon, never a man on the moon. When we described music with numbers, like a 45 or a 78, not a CD, iPod, or MP3. When a cell was something we learned about in biology class, or maybe stayed in overnight. Not a device we answered our calls with. When a BlackBerry or an Apple was a fruit you picked to eat, not a device we make calls on, or a PC, or by a computer company that launched the computer age. We came of age in the 60s when rock and roll and the space age was being born. Little did we realize that those innocent years in the 50s and 60s would change with a world of high-speed technology, space travel, advancements in computers, and other unfathomable changes too innumerable to cite. Little did we know the opportunities we'd be afforded, or the paths our lives would take, or the people we would encounter, or the impact we would have on their lives and the impact they had on ours. This is really why our high school years were so important. It laid the foundation for our future. High school is the mother lode of our group memories. It's the imprint, the paradigm, because that's where our roots are. When people ask me, where'd you go to school? First thing I say is South High School, not anywhere else. High school, as I said, really is where our memories were formed. Face it, where we went to high school is home. The site of our coming of age and where adult life started, and the people. These are the indelible faces of those you started life with. This is the first place we grew up. This was our spiritual home. This was a place we could be safe. These were the people who were that anvil upon which we were forged, who I was and what I would become. These people, our classmates, were the loving friends of all the really important lessons in life. To forget high school would be to amputate a major part of our being. Life's lessons are still going on, and fortunately for us, they aren't over yet. More importantly, we are all grateful to each other for teaching each other the importance of friendships and camaraderie. We're really fortunate to see that here this evening, even after 50 years. Teaching the critical importance of enjoying the moment and living well in it. Most importantly, we learn gratitude for having the fellowship of classmates and friends. In working with the reunion committee, I've come to appreciate at a much greater level how these friendships last throughout our lifetime. It's a valuable lesson that we all need to appreciate. Now, 50 years later, the physical walls of our high school have been torn down. They're gone, but the bricks and mortar that constitute the school do not make the school. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here. Your presence will enrich the entire reunion experience for all of us. I also want to acknowledge and remember our classmates who are not here tonight. They're missing for a variety of reasons, travel plans, sundry reasons, and unfortunately could not attend. I'd like to take a minute to thank all the members of the reunion committee, without whose effort this reunion could not take place. We're very fortunate. We have 4 ladies who really, really worked hard to put this together, and quite honestly, as usual, did almost all the work. Kay Element, Sandy Olson, Rishinger, Carol Hanson, and Marion Cornell. They really did a great job. Why don't you stand up for a second? I really wanted to say this because they spent a lot of time trying to locate everybody, and unfortunately, we couldn't find everybody. Jim Heath, myself, Roger Swanson, Jerry Logital, we kind of were along for the trip. They really did all the work and deserve the credit. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge our classmates who have passed since our graduation. We have our memory table with framed pictures of these individuals, and we all have fond memories of each in every one of them in different ways that will stay with us for our lives. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you for attending. That's really what makes the entire event worthwhile. It's just a lot of fun to get together, reminisce a little bit, and have a good time. Thank you very much. I would like to mention one more thing, and that is that we do have a website up and running. It didn't cost us $300 million, and it works. But anyhow, our plan is to use this website as sort of a South High School class of 1963 Facebook. We're going to send out instructions. We've used it primarily as a means of getting information out to people. Now we want to use it as an interactive communications device. And we'll be sending out some information on that in the next week on how to log in, everything else. And hopefully we'll have a lot of pictures from this evening. And I'd encourage everybody to take as many pictures. We'll get them posted on the website, so we'll have some memories that we can record and look back at. Thank you very much, and I think that...
Can we have the classmates come up so we can do the big picture? Classmates. Can we have the class?